Tell me when you're ready.
What?
Complete game. Obviously, DeCaro was in complete control the whole time. He didn't have that normal fastball that he usually has, but he had 4 pitches for strikes, and you don't need to throw 94, 95 when you can throw fastball to both sides, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. So he was outstanding. Percival continues to throw really well. I thought he came in and gave them no hope, played a complete game defensively. Gavin's got to get rid of that ball a little bit quicker. We got lucky there and had, hit the ball over the wall and had good at bats. It was a complete game, and we got to move on because it'll be a tougher game tomorrow. It's the way baseball works.
Is Jason your top guy at this point?
We had moved him to Friday anyway. Before Folger had his little, we don't know what it is yet, but we had moved DeCaro. That's why we started Folger, only threw 46 pitches at Virginia. And we wanted to move DeCaro and get him on that Friday because he's through Friday at Virginia, and Sprague on Saturday to keep those 6 days. And then we were moving Folger to Sunday. So, he's definitely one of our best. I feel like we've got a bunch of best. I feel like Sprague's throwing as good as anybody, in the ACC especially. He's striking out a lot of guys. But he's definitely a guy that so far in the ACC, every time he's gone out there, he's given us a chance to win. That's hard to do for anybody, much less a freshman.
So he won't necessarily be your Friday starter.
Yeah, he's our Friday starter right
Okay,
now.
that's
stay on
making sure.
Friday. Sprague right now. We hopefully play on, stay on Saturday. We don't know what we're going to do yet Sunday. We TBA'd it this weekend just to try to figure out what was best. There's a mix of guys that we'll consider in there. But 2011, about this point in the season, we started going Friday, Saturday, and TBA Sunday, and that team made it to Omaha. So we'll just kind of go day by day.
Did you say anything specific to Jason? He is a 17-year-old starting an ACC series on Fridays.
No. He's got that X factor. He's a competitor. And knowing Jason, he didn't really even think about that. He wants to be a Friday starter, I think, based on what I've seen with him. And in his mind, he probably thinks he's good enough, obviously, and that's part of it. You have to think like that. But we believe in him as well, and I didn't feel like I needed to say anything.
What's Folger's situation?
He had a flare up. We're hoping it's a flexor, in his forearm.
Of his pitching arm.
Yep. So we'll just see. We're waiting to meet with some more doctors, and we want to take the safe route right now and just hold him out because we had to take him out against South Carolina, and when that's the case, I'm not going to throw a kid back out there until he's 100% completely healed, however long that takes.
11 hits tonight. Do you see this kind of as a bounce back game from South Carolina?
Yeah, the thing that was most disappointing about South Carolina is they beat us with fastballs, and that's hard to do with our team. We talked to them; they just got a little bit big, and the park was small, and they know that. So we worked hard on that in the last couple days. We were off Wednesday, but we worked hard on that yesterday. But being on time for that fastball, and of course, anytime you do that, I told the guys last time we lost the game 2-1. I think we scored 18 runs at Miami, so it was definitely a good answer to that for sure.
Do you have a comparison for DeCaro of someone that you've coached has come in and been so young and yet so composed so quickly?
JB Bukowskis came a year early, different type pitcher. DeCaro has better command. DeCaro's always reminded me when I'm out there at third base, just the way he pitches and his delivery and his arm swing of Alex White. He's got some meanness on the mound, which you need. He ain't scared. He'll knock somebody down if he needs to. And he believes he's better than the hitter, and that's a lot how Alex was. Now, Alex just didn't come a year early.
How have you seen D'Onofrio kind of settle into that leadoff spot?
Yeah, he wants to. He loves it. It gives us a chance to kind of stagger the lineup a little bit, and he's got that speed up there, and he also looks at the ball fairly well. I like having a leadoff guy that can hit a home run or a double, and it has speed, and it distributed our lineup and got Parks. So I really want to try to get Harbor in that 4 spot, and it also gives us flexibility in that 5 spot. If we want to go left, right, we can put Luke in the 5 hole Alberto, so we can literally go left, right, the whole way if we want to.
How important is for you going left, right the full way down, or does it just depend on the pitching matchup?
It depends on if we had 7 left-handed hitters and they were all Dustin Ackley's, or 9 of them, I played 9 left-handed hitters. So it depends on the talent first. But then you want to try to match up with opposing teams and make them think twice about what their move is. Because if you go to a lefty and you only have one lefty instead of three lefties in a row, it can be a little tougher on the opponent for sure.
For Luke, I believe it's multi-hit games and 4 last 5 or 5 last 6. I mean, as much as he's kind of, acclimated pretty quickly, have you seen maybe the last couple of weeks really kind of settle down a little bit more even?
Well, about heard him when he bat flipped. We don't bat flip here, but we had a little discussion about that. But, Luke's an awesome kid. The power just keeps coming, and Weirs and him work really hard on staying in the middle of the field. We know he can pull the ball, but if he knows he just missed that ball opposite field, and that's where the fastball timing. Even though he hit a changeup, he's on that heater, and the changeup's a mistake, and he just throws his hands, and he just keeps getting stronger, which is a credit to him because I watch him in the weight room. Because this is the point of the season as a freshman, you find out like, okay, am I going to wear down, or can I keep going north? And we challenge these guys to keep going north. And Luke, I watch him lift. If anything, he's gotten a little bit bigger as the season's moved along.
I mean, the fact that he's caught as many innings as he's had is too. The fact that he's held up that much, how's that just kind of like a more of a test?
Yeah, he reminded me a lot of Inetta because he's a worker.
Yeah.
And I think he takes care of himself away from here. He gets his sleep. If you don't do that, it catches up with you, especially in May and June.
3 more home runs tonight. It's on pace to kind of like shatter the record. I mean, the number you had last year. Is power something that you emphasize more this year, or is it more just a product of who you have on the roster?
You want to hit doubles and home runs and do damage. We've been busting Alberto's chops, asking him when he's going to get going his home runs or what. But that allows our team knows we're never out of a game. It doesn't matter what the score is, and we can score in bunches. We've really challenged Colby and Hamad to continue to really work hard to get on base for those guys because we're going to play 7 guys that are capable of hitting 10 home runs. Plus, we've got 2 guys right now on the bench in Castagnazzi and Vanderbray that both could also hit home runs at any time, and some other players. So that is something in recruiting we put an emphasis on. We want guys that can, they got to be able to hit, number one, but we want to be able to, you can't have a team full of singles hitters, that's for sure.
Casey just hit double digits tonight in home runs. Did you expect that starting the season?
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. The thing I'm most proud of Casey is he's been clutch. And you can be a good hitter, but are you a clutch hitter? That means do you have RBIs? Ike Freeman was a lot like him. He just had he had a nose for those RBIs, and he didn't have them last year. But now he's having them, whether or not it's a double or home run. He gets a lot of 2-out hits. I think he's one of the more complete. He's got to be in the top 5 of RBIs now in the country. I think he's catching up with Tibbs a little bit because Tibbs, I saw, was leading 52, and he's above 50 now, I believe. So, that's a credit to Casey. He's a throwback now. He doesn't say a lot, he's a lead by example, but he gets after it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank
Thanks,
y'all.
Coach.
Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Congratulations.
All right, Casey. Coach just called you clutch. What is your approach and mindset when you go up in those 2-out situations, bases loaded? What are you thinking?
Honestly, I think that it doesn't change. I mean, you want to chase their RBIs, but if you try to chase them too hard, you try to do too much, and then it doesn't work out. So honestly, I want to just keep it the same, and it's been working out. So.
When you started the season, did you think by this point you were going to have double-digit home runs?
I hoped. I didn't know because I've never hit more than 3 last season, so it was hard to really know what I'd hit. But no, I just kind of stuck to the approach, and they just keep coming.
Looking at Parks, another home run today. How important is that for someone that hits up in the lineup to have that pure clean hitter that can hit for power like that?
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing this year is that we don't have guys that are just all or nothing. Even our home run guys are hitting for a good average, so they're pure hitters, and that means we can stay in games even when the long ball's not there. So I think that it's good to have everyone across the board can hit home runs, but also can hit for some average.
Going into the bottom of the 6th, were you guys thinking about the 10-run rule and wanting to push it over the top?
You don't want to count outs, but it is nice to do. So yeah, I would say everyone thought about it once, but at the end of the day, when you start counting outs, it tends to not go your way. So no, we're just playing as if it was a 1-to-1 game.
What was your impression of DeCaro's performance tonight?
It's expected now. It seems like he's done every single weekend. So, which is crazy to expect out of a 17-year-old. But yeah, it's really impressive.
Do you think you could have came in as a 17-year-old and been this, quality of a player?
I mean, I'd like to think so, but probably not. It probably wouldn't happen. So.
What poise and like maturity do you see from him that a lot of other younger players don't necessarily have?
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like he's been here before. It looks like it's his 4th year here. He's a senior, and I mean, that's not something you can teach. You know, it's just something you have. So it's really impressive, and it's a credit to him. I don't know where he got it from, but you know, it's impressive.
I can't remember if you were already in here when Coach was talking about Tuesday's game or not, and just kind of the offensive approach that you guys had throughout that one. But, I mean, considering that that's really kind of an anomaly, an outlier for what you guys have done over the course of this season, is there maybe some positives that you guys can take away from that game as you kind of start heading down the stretch here a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. It's frustrating when that happens, when you know what you're capable of doing. So I would say we just can't take our foot off the gas. Like, I feel like we got a little too confident in our ability. So it almost felt like we were just like, okay, we got time in this game. We got time. We're going to score. And it never happened. So just almost like putting your foot on the gas, keeping on the gas, and sticking to the approach. You know, we're a good offensive squad who can put up a lot of runs, but it's baseball. So once you take your foot off the gas, it can slip away just like that.
Did you guys focus on anything specific in practice following that Tuesday game?
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of work on making sure we're not missing the fastballs. When we're in a fastball count, there's really no explanation that you should miss a fastball. It is baseball, so it happens, but like we just kind of worked on slowing ourselves down and not really jumping at the pitch when you know it's coming.
Is that what you hit?
No, I had a changeup actually. Yeah, but I had to approach a fastball. So.
Yeah.
Jason's birthday is next week. Are you guys celebrating for his 18th in any way?
No, probably not. No.
Thanks, Casey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Casey.
Yeah.
So, Jason, first question. When is your birthday?
Wednesday next week.
17th?
Yes.
There we go.
So what's the situation? You graduated from high school early. What happened? What was the situation there?
It's kind of a long story, but that basically, yeah.
So I mean, so this really should be your senior year in high school.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
So how are you able to be that poised at 17?
I think just getting it from the other guys that are around me. You know, watch them a lot in the fall, in the preseason, and seeing how they act, and that's been really big for me. Is just watch and observe and try to take it all in as I go.
What about starting the first game of an ACC series? Was that extra pressure on you, or did you feel anything different coming into this?
I don't think there's any extra pressure. I don't really think there's really any pressure at all. I think if you're prepared to go out there and do your best, then there's really no pressure because, I mean, you've done all you can do. Now it's just time to go out there and play. So as long as you enjoy it, I don't really think there's any pressure out there.
The word that Coach used there was meanness about you. And do you feel like it's a pretty good descriptor for you? And if so, just kind of where do you think that kind of comes from a little bit?
I think so. You know, when I'm out there, I mean, I couldn't really tell you what's going through my head. It's kind of just like flip a switch as soon as you get on the field. Coach talks about that a lot. And being able to do that, I feel like, has helped me a lot. I feel like that comes from just having a lot of confidence in myself and, like Coach said, just believing that you're better than the hitter. And also trusting the guys behind me. I mean, don't have to have a lot of strikeouts to get outs, especially with that defense behind me. So it's really nice to just go out there and attack guys.
But how does that meanness personify itself? Do you have that look on your face, or is it just your determination?
I think it's really just internal. Just going out there, believing in myself, and having all the confidence in the world.
So Poston told us that he talks to himself on the mound in between batters. Do you do anything like that, or is it just like a blank slate up there?
Definitely talk to myself, yeah.
Oh, anything in specific you say that you can share?
I don't think I can share.
How much easier is it pitching with such a lead like tonight? You get up early and then they keep pouring on more and more every inning. I mean, does that make your job easier?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, the guys went out there and did their job, scored a lot of runs, and it just makes it so much easier. You know, you just go out there and attack guys, just go right after them and get some quick outs, which thought I did an all right job with tonight and let them do the work behind me.
Did you
It's
have
great.
any say in coming out for that 7th inning, or was that up for debate?
Obviously you want to stay in the game there, but I really trust our bullpen. Everyone in there, they're all amazing. And if coach wants to take me out, then I'm all right with it.
That's a good answer.
Going off Greg's question, you didn't do it today, but I know at the last home start, there were some moments where you're kind of trying to find your groove again a little bit against Georgia Tech, and you start doing a thing where you put like your shirt and your jersey like over your nose. Like, are you even conscious of that? Or
No.
When you're in the dugout on those sits, especially when the offense is crushing, so you're in there for a little bit longer, is there anything in specific you kind of say to yourself or you do for your arm?
I think just move around. That was a big thing we focused on after the first week of the season, where we had some long sits and it kind of affected us on the mound. So I think that's one thing we worked on a lot early, and that really helped, especially with an offense like this where they can go off for 5 or 6 runs any inning. I think it's huge. So just being able to stay moving around and throw if I have to. I can go down to the bullpen, but I mean, every guy's different, but yeah, just move around.
Friday, you're now the kind of set the tone for the weekend guy. Has that changed your mentality at all, or same Jason DeCaro stepping up on the mound?
I don't really think it's changed anything. Only thing that's changed the day of the week. Just go out there and do my job as best as I can, and the rest will take care of itself.
you know, coach was saying that maybe tonight the fastball might not have been quite as effective as it's been other times to still have the sort of success that you did tonight. I mean, it's kind of how's that just continuing to boost your confidence, I guess, that you can find results in other ways.
I think having a defense like that behind me is really huge. I know that if I'm not getting the swings and misses I could be getting, then it's right, because I have such an elite defense behind me that they'll go out there and make all the plays. So I think that really gives you confidence on the mound and just let you go right after guys no matter how your stuff is.
When you don't exactly have that fastball like you'd like, is there another pitch that you kind of like to rely on more, a comfort pitch besides the fastball?
I really trust all my pitches. It doesn't really matter how the game's going or what's happened before, what I have a feel for. Just I trust that Coach Gaines is going to call like what he thinks is the best pitch, and I'm going to listen and throw it where it's supposed to go, and hopefully it goes there.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks,
you.
Jason. Congrats.
Thank you.